Welcome back to Les Schwab Tire Center's Outdoor GPS. It's time for Owin's Field Report, sponsored by Les Schwab Tire Centers.
What a weird week. I mean, really, it's just the only way that I can put it. We had conditions that were, as a waterfowl, as a duck hunter in particular, I don't chase geese unless they are dumb enough. Anyway, it was cold, right? We had some clear days. Sun and cold are usually really, really good for mallards. Problem is, when you don't have a lot of mallards around, it's pretty darn tough. We will talk fishing stuff here in a little bit, everyone, so just bear with me. Just overall, a really weird week. You know, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, good hunting. Didn't get out Thursday. Friday, yesterday was horrible. And we'll get there in a second after I show you at least some good stuff, and then I'll tell you about the bad stuff when we're done. Don't forget, though, we're going to get to river levels also in just a minute. But go ahead and show a couple of those photos from this week. Now, this is how the week started. You know, some mallards, some gadwalls, some widgeon. And overall, it actually started out pretty good, and you could tell that the birds were acting a little funny because the mornings there was a little bit of ice, and that will change their attitude. It'll also make them go, maybe we should go someplace else. And kind of ran across that a little bit this week, where it felt like either the birds had moved on or they were just flat out night feeding, right? When ducks go nocturnal, it is extremely difficult to have success no matter where it is that you're going, right? Because if they can feed at night, like we had this past week where the sun, or the moon, basically a sun, the moon was so bright that you could go out there and see a shadow, for crying out loud. And when it's cold, they like that, and that's guaranteed what had happened for at least 2 or 3 days. But that doesn't give me excuses for yesterday, but keep going forward. You can see that Sean, my buddy, and I had some success, Mr. Fish there, which is high and dries, by the way. Here was a solo hunt from this week. This was just a goofy one, right? Now, this was Thursday? No, Tuesday. Anyway, whatever. Gadwall, widgeon, and mallards. Well, a mallard, just one. It's the only one that I saw. But it seemed like a bunch of gaddies had moved into the area that I was in, and it was like an hour long. It was literally to the point where it was, I'm going to be done too quick. All the effort to get here, the time, and then, okay, we're done. It's great when that happens. Drago gets a little bored quickly, but heck of a nice shoot. Nice limit. I'll take gadwalls, widgeon, and a mallard all day long. Hopefully you were able to do the same thing this week, and I'll say this, yesterday I got humbled right away. A series of bad decisions. Shouldn't have gone to a particular area that I did go, and then just shot horrible. I mean, and if you're like me and you do spend time in the blind chasing these things around, I just made bad decisions. I didn't take shots that I should have. I took shots that I shouldn't have, and overall, it was just one of those days where I just quit. An hour before, and I never do that. I will stick it out, right? My rule is pretty simple, a 5 by 3 or I'm out. And I was nowhere near there, and by 3:30-ish, I can't remember what shoot time was, 4 something, I was out of there. I just, drove me insane, to be quite honest with you. But all this stuff is going to change. We've got so much water that has shown up, and it's expected to get nuts, right? We've got all this snow that we've been reporting on here on KPDX and KPTV this morning. All that snow, well, that's short-lived. We got a bunch of warm rain coming to the mountains. We're going to learn more from Katie, but look what we've got coming. My home river is expected to get into the minor. Now, this is how they do all the rivers, everyone. You have action stage, minor stage, and then major. Major is when it's into the flood, right? Thank goodness that's not going to happen. If you know anybody that might be unplugged or whatever and they live on a river anywhere, give them a call, tell them to pay attention, you know, strap stuff down, whatever it is, because you're going to see in a 24-hour period of time a 6-8 foot bounce just here locally, let alone what's going to be happening along the coast. Now, slowly, let's go through some of the other ones. Along the coast, same thing. It's a little ahead of its forecast here on the Wilson, just a little, right? But it's certainly on its way out. Looks like it's going to flatten out a little bit, and then pow, things go up into the 12s, for crying out loud. And again, there's a lot of rivers up and down the North Coast. This is just a great barometer. They are all going to explode. Work your way south, same thing. They're all going to explode. Keep going. You're going to get into the Alsea, same thing, exploding. But it's pretty, Nehalem. Anyway, all these rivers are going to pop, but they're going to drop really quickly. Can you pull up the Columbia? I don't know. I don't mean to throw you a curveball, Ryan, but I just want to give you a quick idea what's going to happen with some of these other rivers, big rivers as well. And if you can't, don't worry about it. In the end, all these rivers are going to pop, and they're going to turn over really, really quickly. Here's one, just an example. The Columbia, big river, takes a lot of water from the east side, right? Mount Hood, all the other areas that are over there, tributaries that are dumping in to see some sort of a bounce. That's why you see it a day or so behind. But when you get over here to Friday, it turns over right away. And I would expect that it's probably just going to go and drop right back out and get down to where we are now in a matter of days, which really, really hurts because I'm going to miss some of the best opportunities, but it is what it is. But so there you go. Now you understand what's going on. Some of these tributaries, when they do turn over, I wouldn't be entirely scared to go out there and try for your first time to chase a winter steelhead around. Is it early? Absolutely. But when you have these kind of water events, things change, and the fish that are out there can make a decision to go ahead and work their way up a little bit early. So I wouldn't be scared. There's already confirmed steelhead that have been caught all around. Doesn't matter if it's in the valley, along the coast, one here, one there, yes, but that is an option when the rivers get back into shape. So keep that in mind. Procure. Giveaway, easy to do. Head over to the email for Jason Hambley. That'd be jason@procure.com. Enter in and have a chance to win a prize pack that is set up for winter steelhead season, all kinds of different things that you can use to be successful when you get out there on the water. But real quickly, let's go ahead. I've got a phone call before we move on to some of our other reminders. Let's go ahead and take Phil. Phil, can you hear me, sir? You can go ahead and clear that, Ryan. Phil, you got me?
Yep.
Yeah, it looks like you got a question or a comment for everybody. What's going on?
Yeah, I couldn't help but let this pass. I can't believe that your producers, knowing that you're an ex-Quaker, allowed you to handle a sharp instrument last week with the Kershaw gentleman. In fact, knowing that, sure enough, you cut yourself. It wasn't like you lost a finger or anything, but
I've done that before too.
there was blood on the set. So
yes, sir. Thanks, Bill. Now I know why Ryan didn't plug anything in on the comment section there. Phil, thanks for calling, sir. I appreciate it. Somebody had to rub it in at some point in time, right? I mean, seriously. And it wasn't actually on air, which somebody this past week was like, "Oh, you cut yourself on air." No, but it was true. It's a long story. I won't get into it. It's a good segue, right? The Kai warehouse sale is currently going on right now. Yesterday was the day that it kicked off. We got messages from folks going, what in the heck? A lot of them were, how did we not know this before? A giant sale on all cutlery, right? Kershaw, home stuff, whatever it is, pocket, whatever it is that you need, it's there. Quite honestly, if I wasn't so busy today, I probably should be heading over there. Anyway, it is still going on today and tomorrow. It's that Kai warehouse sale. Ryan, it was a good one. All right, let's go ahead and check in with Katie Suniga and find out what this weather is really going to do. Nuts, isn't it, Katie? Last night, it felt like the house was moving.
Oh, we had gusts up to 40 miles per hour in some areas. There were sustained gusts, like the regular gusts were anywhere around 35. So very gusty, and I saw one up at Mount Hood just a few hours ago, maybe it was about an hour and a half ago, 72 miles per hour. That's why they're not opening up today, they said. And you can see it's actively snowing up there right now. Here's what you have. Snow along the Cascades, that's the blue, but you can see there are breaks there in the Portland metro area. We've already noticed that. We continue with snow till around 11 o'clock, and then we get to 9 o'clock, it backs off a little, and then this is when it turns back into rain. So you notice 4 o'clock tomorrow morning, nothing but green and red there along the Cascades. We will start to see conditions back off in the Portland metro for the afternoon, around noon, and then just rain through that. That's the one system. We have more after this. Here's where we are with potential accumulation of rain. Now, when we do this, so when we're forecasting for you, we just don't look at one thing and say this is what we're going to do. We look at multiple models, take into account what we know of the area, and then give you your forecast. And I want to show you everything is at least an inch to an inch and a quarter. We have a couple getting us to an inch and a half just with this next system. With that, there's also wind expected tomorrow. This is why we have declared tomorrow a first alert weather day for heavy rains in some areas, possible spots of flooding with that rain melting all the snow in the Cascades, and then those gusty winds again. So we're not done. Looking ahead, we stay warm through midweek. We start cooling back, and right now Friday looks like our next opportunity to possibly have a dry day. Quite a bit of rain there, Owen.
Well, you know, I'm always whining, right? That we need rain, we need water, but it looks like it's going to show up and have a high water event and then just kind of drop right out and be gone. Is that accurate?
Well, when we're looking ahead past the 10 days, it's hard to, you know, it looks like a ridge is building in once we get to here, but that's so far out that we kind of hold back until we see, because this has to happen first. At this point, it does look like we dry up, but don't put any word on that right yet.
I get it. Thank you very much. We appreciate the info as always, Katie. All right, we're going to cut to a quick break. When we come back, we're going to have Joel Strickland. He is a YouTuber with a page, I think that's the right way to say it, Surviving Duck Season. I love the guy. Genius, quite honestly, when you're talking about waterfowl information, and it's all about educating everyone, new, old, whatever it might be. We're going to have some great info for you when we come back. Don't go anywhere.
Outdoor GPS is brought to you by P-Line, because we fish, by Hawken Fishing, perfection in fishing gear, and by Haxton's Canvas and Upholstery, the trusted name of the Pacific Northwest.